The big bad boss of Springfield, Mr. Burns, is always cooking up something sinister, and here are his top 10 most outrageous moments. Number 10. Sexually harassing and firing Marge. In an episode where the Simpsons face a hefty home repair bill, Marge gets a job at the power plant to help pay for it. Almost immediately, Mr. Burns takes an inappropriate interest in her, but Marge rejects his advances. In retaliation, Burns fires her, and when she threatens to sue, he responds with a disgusting sexual comment and a creepy purring noise.
You can't fire me just because I'm married. I'm going to sue the pants off you.
You don't have to sue me to get my pants off. Oh.
The moment highlights not just Burns' typical villainy, but his outright sleaziness. While much of Burns' evil is exaggerated for laughs, this particular scene feels uncomfortably real, especially in the context of the Me Too movement. It's a harsh reminder of how toxic work environments can be.
Mr. Burns, we've got witnesses, precedent, and a paper trail a mile long.
Yes, well, I have 10 high-priced lawyers.
Number 9. Stealing oil from an elementary school. Alright, let's dive into one of Springfield's wildest rides. Mr. Burns literally stealing oil from Springfield Elementary. Yeah, you heard that right. The guy found out there was black gold under the school and thought, yeah, I'm taking that. Cue chaos. Burns starts a sneaky slant drilling operation, and it's a disastrous domino effect for Springfield. Moe's Tavern shut down by toxic fumes. Bart's treehouse obliterated, leaving Santa's little helper injured. Grandpa's retirement home swallowed by a sinkhole. And Springfield Elementary totally broke. It all starts innocently enough. Principal Skinner finds out the school struck oil while burying the class gerbil Super Dude.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Your custodian struck oil. You're standing on top of the richest elementary school in the state.
Suddenly, everyone's dreaming big. Willie wants a crystal slot bucket. Lunch lady Doris asks for staff. And Lisa hires Tito Puente to teach jazz. But in struts Burns, disguised as Jimbo. Seriously, Burns' evil plan: steal the oil, wreck Springfield, and keep the profits. Classic Burns. And then it gets even crazier. Burns ignores his loyal assistant Smithers, burns bridges, pun intended, and sets his sights on blocking out the sun. Because of course he does. It's all so ridiculous, yet somehow genius. Springfield's destruction for profit. It's peak Simpsons satire. So do we root for Homer, who just wants Burns to remember his name, or for Springfield to finally rebel? Either way, it's one of the most over-the-top moments in Simpsons history.
Eternal darkness. Well, that's just great.
Number 8. Mistreating and endangering his employees. Alright, let's talk about the guy who makes Darth Vader look like a people person. Mr. Burns. This dude isn't just bad at being a boss, he's like evil overlord bad. First, there's the spine, because who wouldn't want their boss monitoring their every coffee break with creepy security cameras? But oh no, that's just the warm-up act. The real hits? Cutting dental plans faster than you can say toothache, and turning a blind eye to, you know, basic safety regulations. OSHA must have a full-time team just for this guy. And let's not forget the piece de resistance, the secret trap door. Yet Mr. Burns literally drops his employees into who knows where because why not? So the next time you're grumbling about your boss making you work late, just be glad they're not pressing a button and sending you to the Shadow Realm. Or are they? Better check under the desk.
Look, all our reasons mean nothing. Just look into your heart and you will find the answer.
Number 7. Trying to kill Grandpa and Bart. In a Season 7 episode, Mr. Burns and Grandpa are the last survivors of a World War II infantry squad called the Flying Hellfish. During the war, they stole priceless paintings and hid them, with a pact that the last surviving member would inherit the art. To secure his claim, Burns hires a hitman to kill Grandpa.
Just the man I need. Fernando Vidal, the world's most devious assassin.
But when Grandpa and Bart discover the paintings, Burns goes a step further. He kicks Bart into a strong box, which falls into the water. This moment shows just how far Burns is willing to go for money, showing he values priceless art over human life without hesitation. Number 6. Planning to kill puppies for a tuxedo. In the Season 6 episode, 201 Greyhounds, the show channels 101 Dalmatians, with Mr. Burns taking on a Cruella de Vil-like role. When Santa's little helper fathers a litter of puppies with a greyhound, Burns kidnaps them to make a tuxedo out of their fur. While he doesn't go through with the plan, He does sing a hilarious song about his fashion obsession, see my vest, made from real gorilla chest.
See this hat? 'Twas my cat, my evening wear, vampire bat.
The chaos starts when Santa's little helper falls for a greyhound named She's the Fastest. The couple's romantic journey leads to the birth of 25 puppies who, despite their cuteness, wreak havoc on the Simpson household. Homer and Marge try to find homes for the pups, but after a disaster at a dinner party, they're stuck with them. Eventually, Mr. Burns offers to take the puppies, but Bart and Lisa discover his sinister plan. Burns wants to turn them into a tuxedo, but the cuteness of the puppies, especially when they all stand on their hind legs, makes him reconsider. Touched, Burns buys the puppies, turning them into champion racing dogs and making millions. The episode ends with Homer's over-the-top reaction to losing the dogs, which is more comic than tragic.
Marge, you know that betting this light bulb is the only thing that cheers me up after giving away those $1 million greyhounds?
Number 5. Little Lisa's patented animal slurry. If you thought Mr. Burns couldn't get any worse, Little Lisa's patented animal slurry proved you wrong. And the old man and the Lisa tries her best to reform the villainous Burns, guiding him toward the path of recycling and eco-consciousness. At first, it seems to work. Burns opens a recycling plant with Lisa's help. However, Lisa's excitement quickly dissolves into horror when Burns proudly unveils his factory's piece de resistance, a giant net made of 6-pack rings designed to scoop up sea life and turn it into disgusting marketable slurry. That's right, Burns took recycling and turned it into something even worse than his usual schemes. While Lisa stood firm in her environmental ethics, even tearing up a $12 million check from Burns, her decision nearly caused Homer to drop dead from heart attacks, because only Burns could make going green so terrifyingly evil.
I figured if one 6-pack holder will catch one fish, 1 million sewn together will catch 1 million fish.
Number 4. Attempting to seal Homer in a crypt. When Burns isn't sexually harassing Marge, he's plotting to bury Homer alive. In the episode C.E. Doy from season 14, Homer takes a course on success and ends up overthrowing Burns to become the head of the power plant.
Mr. Burns' reign of terror is over! Yay! And today begins my reign of terrific management!
Furious, Burns drugs Homer and attempts to seal him inside the Burns family mausoleum. But Burns' plan falls apart when Homer casually walks over the small wall he's built to trap him. While we get that Burns wants his power back, trying to entomb someone alive is a bit much, even for him. Fortunately, his age and lack of fitness makes it easier for Homer to escape, proof that Burns should have spent less time scheming and more time at the gym. Number 3. Hitting Bart with his car and not caring about it. Bart is skateboarding through Springfield when Mr. Burns accidentally hits him with his car. While accidents happen, it's Burns' reaction, or lack thereof, that makes this moment unforgettable. Instead of showing concern, Burns nonchalantly offers Bart a nickel and tries to leave. Thankfully, Smithers steps in with some decency, but the damage is done. Later, Burns attempts to brush it off further by offering the Simpsons a mere $100 to avoid legal troubles. Homer rejects the offer, sparking a legal battle that reveals more about Burns' villainous tendencies. The incident also triggers a surreal experience for Bart, who briefly ascends to heaven before being redirected to hell, only to learn that his time hasn't come. The story then takes a chaotic turn involving lawsuits, shady lawyers, and family disagreements, as Homer's greed clashes with Marge's sense of morality. Ultimately, truth and honesty win, but not without leaving the Simpsons with nothing, and Homer nursing a bruised ego.
Homer, I'd like you to forgive me for doing the right thing.
Number 2. Blocking out the sun. Mr. Burns isn't shy about putting all of Springfield in danger just to get his way. To break up a strike, he once cut off the town's power. But his most devious plot comes in Who Shot Mr. Burns, when he plans to block out the sun with a massive disc. His goal? To force the people of Springfield to rely on his nuclear power plant. This outrageous scheme is what finally pushes Smithers to his breaking point. After voicing his disgust, Smithers is fired for insubordination.
No, Marty, I won't. Not until you step back from the brink of insanity.
I'll do no such thing. You're fired.
When even Smithers calls Mr. Burns insane, it shows just how far gone Mr. Burns really is in his pursuit of power.
Have you ever seen the sun set? at 3 p.m.?
Number 1. Possibly murdering his mother. Mr. Burns has a complicated, to say the least, relationship with his mother. He abandoned her as a child for a wealthy billionaire, and later, he holds a deep grudge against her for having an affair with President Taft.
Mr. Burns can't stand talking to his mother. He never forgave her for having that affair with President Taft.
Taft, you old dog.
Burns even goes as far as attempting to kill her by unplugging her life support. However, his plan fails and his mother continues to torment him for decades after. In one episode, Burns casually mentions getting rid of her for getting in his way. Yet he also claims that the lack of indoor plumbing caused her death.
Indoor plumbing. The lack of it killed my mother.
Leaving us uncertain about the truth behind their twisted relationship.